Welcome back. We're closer than ever to the NFR in Las Vegas, and this is episode 4 of the Ultimate NFR Playbook.
Yeah, this one's been much anticipated by so many people. This is our NFR tips, tricks, and updates video. We did a podcast on this last year, and I can't believe how helpful it was to people. So we really wanted to do this in a more digestible form on YouTube this year. So we're going to break it all down for you.
Yep. And if you're watching this video, thank you so much for watching our videos. We really appreciate it. We put a lot of effort into getting the information together, putting the video down and editing it and getting it out. But we thank you for watching it. And if you're watching and you haven't done so yet, please subscribe and you'll see us on all of our other ones too. But let's get into it. So we're going to get right into some of the tips and tricks that we've discovered are helpful over the years.
Yeah, so this is going to be our 6th NFR. I would at this point say veterans, just because we've done so much in Vegas and we've learned so much not only from our own experiences, but also from other Vegas vloggers. So we're going to be touching on some of those tips as well today.
Yeah. So off the get-go, if you're going to start planning your trip, you're probably already halfway into that. We hope you are anyway. If you're not, you're definitely behind the 8 ball. But one of the things that's very helpful about planning out the week as far as events go, concerts, all of that stuff, is download the NFR app. It is available for free on pretty much every platform. And when you get that app, you can go in and you can set the concerts you like by artist. You can build an itinerary on what you want to do throughout the week. It tells you pretty much everything that's going on everywhere. And it's a really great tool to help you navigate things during the NFR and not miss anything.
Yeah, for sure. The NFR Experience app has been pivotal in our planning process. You can even set, when, like Jordan said, you can select things to be part of your schedule. It can send you a push notification 15 minutes before something starts to remind you, hey, this concert's happening in 15 minutes. So you can call that Uber and get over there in a timely manner. You can also use the app to find out what hours shopping is happening at all of the various locations, as well as any other events being hosted at host hotels.
So when you go to check in after you've arrived in Las Vegas, this is one of the things that we've learned from watching some of the other YouTube vloggers that talk about their trips to Las Vegas and different casinos and different hotels. And from what we hear, this works more than it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And it will totally depend on how much availability your hotel has, but it's called the $20 trick. So how does that work?
So basically what you're going to do is when you check in, you're going to hand over your credit card and your ID. But in between your credit card and your ID, you're going to put a $20 bill. And you're going to say, hey, can you give me the best available room? And usually, if they have the availability, the clerk will take your $20 and give you a better room, an upgrade, something of the sort. If they can't, they'll typically hand that $20 back to you and say, sorry, we don't have any availability.
All right, so after you've gotten your upgrade, if you haven't already done so, if you haven't stayed at this hotel before, you're definitely going to want to go by the player's kiosk and get yourself a rewards card. Because even if you're not going to gamble, you can use that at different restaurants and different things and have it charged to your room. And you can build up points that will win you rewards later on, such as free night stays or discounts on dining. There's a lot of really great things that you can pick up by getting one of these players cards. And especially if you are going to gamble while you're in Las Vegas, you absolutely want to have one of these because you're going to get points for every dollar that you gamble, every dollar that you spend. And it's really the only way to guarantee that there's any kind of return on your money when you're blowing it in Vegas.
Yeah, not only that, but a lot of times you get free play when you sign up for these things, or just as a bonus because you are using that rewards card, you're going to get some free play. And why would you not use free play while you're in Vegas? So yeah, definitely it tracks every dollar spent within the casino group, even if you're going from Harrah's to Caesars, because it's both Caesars properties. You want to be able to use those player cards because they're going to be helping gain points, whether it's like Jordan said, through restaurant spend, through hotel stays, through gambling. It's the only way that you can kind of use those dollars spent to the best of their ability.
Yeah, and there are a few Vegas vloggers that talk about how to really maximize this. You can go in, and if it's your first time signing up for one, they'll do tier matching, and there's some different little hacks for that. Two of those channels that talk a lot about that, one would be Travel Ruby, the other would be Miles to Memories. Look them up if you're really interested in maximizing that, and find one of those videos, and you can learn even more about how to sign up at one property and use that to gain more traction at another one. But when you get to Vegas and you're checked into your hotel and you're ready to go out and start looking around, one of the things that we really want to touch base on that we found to be the most helpful for getting around in Las Vegas is to take the monorail.
Yeah, if you're going anywhere on the Strip, to and from the Las Vegas Convention Center, we often hop on the monorail. It's simply one of the cheapest and easiest ways to get around Vegas. You're not waiting in stoplights and things like that. It's just very convenient. And like we said, it's really cheap. You can get a multi-day pass and you can buy it online through your phone prior to even getting on the monorail. It's much faster than waiting to go at the kiosks in line, especially at the Las Vegas Convention Center. There's always kind of a cluster at the top of the stairs of people trying to get their monorail tickets. So be aware of that. Beyond that, the free NFR shuttle is one of our absolute go-to hacks. At any of the host hotels, you can hop on the free shuttle to the Thomas and Mack, even if you're not going into the rodeo and you want to have the fan experiences outside of the rodeo. And then as the rodeo ends, you can go to any one of the host hotels. So a lot of times you will see us going over to the South Point, to the buckle ceremony, as well as staying over there for some of their late night concerts.
Yeah, so the app we were telling you about earlier will have a lot of instructions on where to find those. When you check in at your hotel, ask them where the shuttle pickup is. They'll tell you exactly where to go. And if it's getting close to rodeo time, usually it's not hard to find because there'll be a line for it. But it's worth it. You get on there with everybody. They drop you off right at the front steps. They have their own dedicated lane in. So if you're taking an Uber, you're going to wait in a huge Uber line to get dropped off at the Thomas and Mack. But if you're on the shuttle, it's going to drop you off right next to the Coors tent. You can go see our boy Disco Dalton Morris and have a good time before and after the NFR. So getting around in Las Vegas, there's a lot of different options. Yeah. We do end up Ubering a lot just because the monorail doesn't go everywhere and the shuttle is only for the Thomas and Mack. But there's a thing that is pretty new to Vegas, and it's being developed more and more every year, and that would be the Tesla Tunnel. If you're going to be at Resorts World and if you want to get to the Convention Center for Cowboy Christmas, the Tesla Tunnel is a really unique, really fun, really cheap, and fast way to get there.
Yeah, it's such an experience. Those tunnels are tight. They're built simply just for Teslas, but we used this at least twice last year. Mm-hmm. It was very cheap. I think it was $5 a ride. And much, much faster than using an Uber. So I definitely recommend if you're going from Resorts World to the Las Vegas Convention Center or vice versa to go see the BFO or things like that at Resorts World, definitely use that Tesla Tunnel. Otherwise, like Jordan said, we Uber a lot when we're in Vegas. I mean, it's just part of it. We'll check Uber and Lyft at the same time to see who has the better rates. Most of the time, the drivers do both services. And otherwise, we have used taxis very limitedly in the past. Just like when we couldn't get an Uber early in the morning to go to the airport, it was actually faster to get a taxi. But typically we stick to Ubers and follow all of those safety tips. The Uber app has a lot of safety features within it. And don't just walk up to a driver and say, "Hey, is your name Bob?" Have them, ask you your name, look at the license plate, do all of those typical safety things because especially my girls traveling alone in Vegas, you've got to mind your surroundings. You've just got to be aware. It is just like any other large city, and that, yes, there are bad people everywhere, but I've never felt truly unsafe in Vegas, but I also don't put myself in situations where I'm going to feel unsafe a lot of times. So just be aware of your surroundings, travel in packs, just try to avoid traveling alone if you can.
Yeah, and with the shuttles and different things, there is a little bit of hack to that. Just because you get on the shuttle at, let's say, Treasure Island, doesn't mean you have to take the shuttle back to Treasure Island. We do it a lot where we'll take a shuttle from our hotel to the Thomas and Mack, and then at the end of the night, when we're leaving the Thomas and Mack, we'll hop on the shuttle to the South Point and go check out the concerts, the buckle ceremony, have a good time out there, and then Uber back to our own hotel.
Yep.
So that covers kind of the transportation part of everything. One of the things we want to talk about is if you're going to go to the Thomas and Mack and you don't already have tickets, be very, very careful on who you buy your tickets from. One of the big things that you have to be aware of in Las Vegas during the NFR is the people that will scam you on tickets. Mm-hmm. Please buy your tickets from a credible source. I believe StubHub is the place online to buy tickets from that you can be guaranteed that they're real and authenticated. There are also kiosk in different locations throughout Las Vegas. Most of them will be at your shopping centers like the Rio for Stetson Country Christmas or the Las Vegas Convention Center. All of those have certified ticket outlets that you're buying real tickets that are authenticated, because the last thing you want to do is pay hundreds of dollars for tickets, show up at the Thomas and Mack, and then the tickets aren't real.
Yeah, no doubt. I think that majority of those booths are cash only. So be aware of that. That could have changed from the past. But we don't carry a ton of cash on ourselves when we're in Vegas or when we're traveling in general. So just be aware of that if you do need to get cash for those situations. Just talking about scams in general in Vegas, just so you know, if you see any of this, street type dressed up people on the street on the strip, the showgirls, the Mickey Mouses,
superheroes,
whatever they are, if you take a picture with them, they're expecting a tip from you. These people can be a little bit pushy. Do not take anything from them. Do not take anything that they hand you. I cannot stress this enough, especially if you're a female and you're traveling with other females or alone. Please be aware. Don't unless you're ready to pay them whatever tip price that they name to take a picture with these people. Just be aware of that, and please don't take anything from them. They'll try and hand you a CD and say it's free, and then turn around and say, "Hey, you got to pay me $50." And it's like, "Whoa, here you go. I don't want it." And they will really push you. They're pretty rude. So just be aware of that as well. That's something a little bit different that happens in Vegas that doesn't necessarily happen in other locations.
Yep. Okay, so one of the things that we want to tell you guys about, because for us, once we discovered these, it became a really big part of our planning, and it's a really fun thing to do in Las Vegas, and that's go to the daytime shows. There are so many daytime shows from the Las Vegas Convention Center to in front of the Thomas and Mack leading up to the NFR Perf. They're just kind of all over the place, and that NFR app will have a lot of those broken down. Watch our previous videos. We have a daytime activities video where we cover that pretty in depth, and there is a good breakdown of who is doing what and where during that time frame. And not only are those shows very fun, they're very insightful because they're mostly led by industry leaders in rodeo and even PBR with Flint Rasmussen. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of different people that are industry experts that will give you insights, do interviews with competitors. But the hack in this is that pretty much all of them have giveaways and pretty cool prizes.
Yeah, a lot of times they have NFR tickets for that night. So be sure to sit down. We kind of use these as a break in our day. One, we like to attend them, but two, it's a great time to sit down and grab lunch. So take some time to sit down, get off your feet, because you're going to be walking a ton in Vegas. We do anywhere from 15,000 to 20,000 upwards steps a day when we're in Vegas, just because we're seeing all the things, and Vegas is so large. All of these properties are ginormous, so you're going to be doing so much walking. Take the time to sit down, enjoy one of these shows. They usually have some musical guests, so even if you're not staying up super late for the concerts, you're going to get to see some of these musical guests play a song or two on these stages as well. And a lot of these are televised on the Cowboy Channel.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to check out. It's a lot of fun to take some time, like she said, when you're walking through the convention center and you want to break, well, kind of double dip. Get yourself a sandwich or something to eat, and then sit down and take in one of these shows. That's a perfect opportunity to rest and maximize that time. And then also, leading into our next tip, keep in mind you're in the desert.
Yeah.
And just because you're not hot doesn't mean you're not getting dried out. So hydrate.
Yeah, please hydrate every chance you get. Grab a bottle of water wherever you are. Or like we like to do, there's Starbucks almost everywhere. You can go and ask for a cup of water, and they will give you a cup of water free. They won't necessarily give you a venti all the time, but I will always ask for a venti water. But they'll give you some size of water for free. We use that all the time because bottled water is very expensive in Vegas. Yes. The other thing that we like to do is go to one of the convenience stores, whether it be Walgreens, CVS, one of those actual stores that is not like a liquor store, and get packs of water to keep in our room, so that we're always having a bottle of water when we're in the room, or grabbing one when we're walking out the door. Just remember to hydrate. I mean, the day sneaks up on you pretty fast in Vegas, and it's a very dry climate compared to what we're used to. So make sure you're hydrating.
Yeah, you want to feel good while you're having a good time. And the best way to do that is to make sure that you're staying hydrated, because a lot of you folks are going to drink a lot while you're there, and that's very important to stay hydrated. You don't want to get tired. You don't want to feel bad. You want to enjoy all day, every day while you're in Las Vegas, because it's just a short 10 days. Short 10 days. I say that. It's easy for me to say. But it is. It goes by quick, and you want to make sure that you're having fun the whole time you're there. And that includes packing correctly and making sure that you have good things. It is the desert, but it gets chilly in Las Vegas.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, last year, normally the highs are in like the 70s during the day. Last year, it was like mid-60s during the day. And I'm looking at the forecast now, could totally change, but that looks like it's going to be the same this year. So I will be packing tights. I will be packing jackets. Just be aware that if you are going to wear shorts and dresses and stuff like that, gals, don't be afraid to pack nylons and tights, because it gets chilly at night.
Yeah, we pack plenty, and we always take wild rags, and we take
Yes.
vests, we take jackets. If you forget your jacket, you can go by the Rodeo Vegas booth and pick up one of those because they look phenomenal this year.
Oh, I know. I love them. I really want one this year.
I do
They're
too.
really good.
They're that perfect tan color, and
Yes.
they have boot stitching on the pockets, and it just is that very authentic looking NFR souvenir that you can
Yes.
keep literally forever.
Yes, that or the Rodeo Quincy booth also has some incredible NFR
Yes.
merch this year. If you guys have not checked out either Rodeo Vegas's jackets this year or the Rodeo Quincy ones, go check them out. Yes, pack a jacket, but I mean, be aware you're going to go shopping too. You got to leave a little room in your suitcases for things like that. But if you're looking for a souvenir that's going to last a really long time and be really useful, those jackets are simply the best.
Mm-hmm. And while you're shopping and everything, we did kind of mention this before with eating, but you really should take time to eat. And that sounds crazy,
Yes.
but there's so much going on in Las Vegas, especially when you're shopping all day or you're going to watch parties or you're going to the team ropings or whatever you're doing. The perf will sneak up on you, and it will be 5 o'clock before you know it. So make sure that you're taking time to eat, because just as important as staying hydrated is making sure that you're eating good and finding meals and at least eating a few times a day to make it through these extremely long days in Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's hard because, I mean, the rodeo happens at such an odd time out in Vegas. It starts at 5:45. So unless you're literally sitting down to, eat dinner while the perf is happening, a lot of times you're going to miss dinner because you go, the perf ends at 8, your concert starts at 8:30, you're running from the Thomas and Mack or the watch party to the next thing. So really prioritize eating. We have found that starting off the day with breakfast has really helped us. Yeah. So we will do things like, while I'm getting ready, I will put in a mobile order on the Starbucks app for Jordan to go downstairs and grab while I'm getting ready, or Hash House a Go-Go, or things like that, just so we can start the day on the right foot and make sure that we're eating one good meal in the morning, and then we can kind of plan our day throughout. And not only for breakfasts, the apps are a really good tool. Make sure that if you want to have dinner at any specific restaurant, that you look online and see if you can have a reservation set. I know that all South Points are super easy to do online. I do that a lot of times. So be aware that if you want something specific while you're out there during the NFR, make a reservation. Call now. I know with the 4-6's Steakhouse Experience, I think it's already sold out. We were really fortunate to get a reservation that we had called right away when they released them. So we're fortunate, and we will be covering that in a vlog. So if you don't get to eat there, you can experience it through us going. But yeah, just be mindful of your meals. If there's some kind of special dinner you want to take your lady out to and treat her right, definitely make sure you get a reservation.
Yeah, and they're not always filled up really far in advance. The 4-6's is an exception to that because it's a one-time pop-up dinner.
Yes.
But things like the South Point, we have literally booked primarily prime while we were sitting at the Thomas and Mack. So
for the same night.
if you're wanting to get there and really, like we say all the time, maximize your time in Las Vegas, then go on the app, call ahead, make a reservation, and then you know what you and your crew are going to be doing for dinner that night, and you can take that night and really just amp it up and make it the best it could possibly be. And then while we're on the topic of food, keep in mind that everything is expensive these days, but food in Las Vegas definitely can be more expensive.
Yeah, you can kind of do things bargain if you want to, but you're going to be going out of your way to do it a lot of times. So just be aware if there's specific kinds of food that you want, or like I mentioned before, or like specific price points you're looking to stay within, definitely plan those things out. Do not make food an afterthought, because you're going to get stuck just paying whatever and eating whatever at that point.
Yeah, 4-6's is not going to be one of those cheap places. We know this is going to be one of the things that we do that we spend a little more on, and we're okay with doing that.
Yep.
But we're definitely going to go by the In-N-Out. We're definitely going to hit up the Whataburger.
Sure.
We're definitely going to do the late night steak and eggs at the South Point. And if you don't, that's your mistake, and you're missing out.
Yeah, for $6.75, you cannot miss out on the New York strip, eggs, sourdough toast, hash browns. It was, a spread, you guys.
You're making me hungry right
Sorry.
now, even thinking about it.
Sorry. But yeah, that is one you should definitely hit up. And you'll definitely get to do it if you go to the South Point for the buckle ceremony, stay for the concert, grab that late night steak and eggs. It is just something you got to do.
Absolutely. All right. So you guys haven't left yet. Hopefully, if you have, you're going to be in Vegas a really long time, and I'm very sorry for you. But if you haven't left yet, then you know that you're about to get ready to pack. And packing appropriate things and not having to buy them when you get there is very valuable information. So take this as your kind of tips and tricks for your packing list. And we've kind of put a few things down other than clothes and things like that that we have learned over the last few years have been extremely helpful for us to take with us. So one of the things that we always make sure we have is plenty of Advil.
Yeah, or an anti-inflammatory of your choice. I just think it's something really important to have because you're on your feet so much. And it's just good to have to pop, especially girls. If you're going to be wearing heels, I like to pregame with Advil if I'm going to be wearing heels late night, just to keep that inflammation down, keep myself comfortable. Something else that I have found is that CBD lotion. That is like a lifesaver on your feet, girls. Lee Hemp Co. is who I get mine from. It's a small cowgirl-owned business. Check them out. They are amazing, and that has become one of my non-negotiables in my packing list. And on top of that, yeah, I'm going to bring some uncomfortable shoes with me, but for the most part, I'm going to bring some comfortable clothing options as well as some comfortable shoe options. I pack my outfits as whole outfits. I do not pack options. I'll even pop up on the screen here. I'll let Jordan share my NFR outfits for this year if you want a sneak peek at them. I do flat lays. You don't have to be as fancy as me, but lay your whole outfits out and take a picture of them before you pack them and pack them as whole outfits. I will bring one black denim jumpsuit that I can dress up or dress down for daytime just as an extra outfit. Otherwise, I am packing specifically what I'm planning to wear.
Yeah, so the packing of the clothing is going to be very important for the ladies. And gentlemen, let me tell you, if she forgets to pack the Advil, make sure you brought extra because it is a key to making sure that those painful feet don't last all the way through the night because it's a long night. When they leave the hotel to go to the rodeo or the watch party or whatever you're doing, and 3 hours into it, she's hurting, it's not going to be a fun night.
No, and I mean, you're standing for majority of these concerts and after parties. You're sitting at the rodeo if you're lucky enough to have a seat or a seat at a watch party. But beyond that, you're doing a ton of standing and walking. So just be aware of that. Keep it in mind. Jordan mentioned before, we're in the desert. Bring moisturizer. Bring beef tallow. Bring all the moisturizer you own because you will shrivel up and feel like a little raisin out in the desert. Moisturizer is a huge one. Again, with the dry air, we also pack a bottle of static guards just because everything's so staticky with it being dry out there.
Yeah, and then one of the things that has helped me more than anything, a couple of years ago, we were on a podcast of our friends, or actually a stage show of our friends, and I was good until the day of that show and lost my voice because everything was so dry and all of the cigarette smoke you're around while you're out there. So we have started packing a small humidifier that we plug in the room, and it helps us overnight while we're sleeping keep everything broken up and moist, and it really makes a difference on how you feel when you wake up in the mornings when you have that going there in the casino hotels with all that canned air being pumped back and forth through it. So if you're like me, that's going to be one of the all-time high things you could ever bring with you to Vegas. And then along that same route of feeling good, not only do we drink a lot of water, but we bring liquid IV with us.
Yes.
We drink electrolytes. We do our vitamins. And if you haven't started yet, take this as your flag to go pick up your vitamins and start pumping that emergency and that vitamin C right now because inevitably, while you're in Las Vegas, you're going to come across people that are sick and you're up all night, you're not sleeping enough, you're going all day, and you're tired, and that is the worst time to get sick, but it's also the time where you're most likely to catch something.
Yeah, the Vegas crud happens just about every year. We're pretty fortunate, knocking on wood, that we usually fare all right, but we stay on vitamins. We're pretty good about our vitamin C, our vitamin D, our zinc. We try to stay aware of those things, and we breathe in dirt on a regular basis, but build that immune system. Another thing along with that first aid kit that you might want to bring with you are some Band-Aids or blister Band-Aids for your heels and ankles, just because, you know, you're going to get some blisters probably, as well as a small sewing kit. Can't recommend that enough. You just never know with outfit. I mean, I literally sewed myself into a dress last year, so it's fine. It was fine. It was just a little too much here for me, so I just sewed myself in. It's fine. Yeah. But definitely recommend those kinds of things. I mean, you're packing for many days and lots of occasions. So just try and think about those things while you're packing.
Yeah. So we've kind of covered our tips and tricks. We told you in previous videos we were going to do some updates, and really there's not been a whole lot of developments across the board that we've been made aware of, but there are a few things. One of the main ones would be daytime shows. I know we mentioned that Rump Chat, which is one of our favorite daytime shows to catch. If you don't listen to their podcast, you absolutely should. It's hilarious. It's two of the industry legends in my book that have done a lot in rodeo and have a lot of rodeo background and share all of that with their podcast. But Rump Chat has a daytime show. It is on the Cinch stage, as we mentioned, but the Cinch stage has now moved. And Garrett Yergin and Lightning Jig Productions is putting on a whole list of things on that stage this year. And Rump Chat, No Spin Rodeo, and Cheers with Chelsea.
Yeah, I'm so excited for Cheers with Chelsea. I love Chelsea Edsel. If you do not follow her and you're a horse show gal, you're missing out. You need to go watch her videos.
Yeah, and Chelsea, if you're watching this, I have something to admit. We were at the South Point last year, and there was a lady there that I thought, that looks a lot like Chelsea Edsel. And she would be at the South Point. Why wouldn't she? So I told Rachel, and Rachel's like, well, I've got to meet her. So Rachel taps her on the shoulder, and she turns around.
And it was not Chelsea Edsel.
Okay. Chelsea,
he
I'm
set
sorry.
me up, y'all. It's like, I'm so sorry. So anyway, Chelsea, would still love to meet you. Hopefully I don't mistake it for somebody else next time.
Yes, but all of those are going to be on the Cinch stage, and that's going to be in the East lobby of the Las Vegas Convention Center. So when you go to Cowboy Christmas, if you've been like us and you've gone and seen the Rump Chat show every year at the Cinch booth, it's still the Cinch stage, but it's not at the Cinch booth anymore. It's moved to a different location. So when you go in, there's maps at the front end of every one of the entrances that will tell you what area is what. And there's even a book there at the front, if I remember right, that kind of gives you a rundown of what you can do while you're at Cowboy Christmas. But those shows will be going on throughout the day. So be sure to look those up when you get there, find out where they are, and see what time exactly they start. And you won't want to miss them. They're going to be a lot of fun. And then this is an exciting announcement.
I am so excited for this. I mean, we love Rodeo Vegas anyway. I think it's going to be another level being in Zouk this year. It's their 21st birthday. They have some late night entertainment happening beyond their concerts. Jordan is very excited, obviously. Snoop Dogg is going to be in the house. Snoop is about to be doing some late night on December 7th for Rodeo Vegas. This is going to be insane, you guys.
It's going to be off the chain.
Yeah, literally. I cannot wait.
If you're at all into rap or anything outside of country music and you've been alive for the last 2 decades, you 1,000% know who Snoop Dogg is, and you know he's an entertainer.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this, you guys. When they made the announcement like a week ago, I was like, oh, Jordan, like what is happening? So anyway, if you want more information about all of the late night happenings, all of the concerts, the watch party, all the things Rodeo Vegas happening. It's their 21st birthday in Vegas this year, you all. It's crazy. Go to Rodeo Vegas' website, their Facebook, get information. I do know that these late night things beyond their concerts. The concerts are totally free. The watch party's totally free. The late night is ticketed. So if you want to go see Snoop Dogg, make sure you go to their Facebook or their website and check out the tickets for that.
Yeah, Rodeo Vegas has a lot of exciting things happening this year, and some of them are brand new. Like if you've been to Rodeo Vegas parties in the past, you know it's the place to be. They're a lot of fun. They've been in the Mirage. Last year they were in Resorts World. They're still in Resorts World this year, but they've moved to a different location. And like Rachel was saying, it's the Zouk nightclub. You can not only buy tickets for the late night concerts, which happen after their normal free concerts, but if you're going to their watch party and their concert, you can go to Rodeo Vegas right now and you can reserve a booth for, I think Casey said it's up to 10 people. Mm-hmm. So you can buy a booth, you can have your own table. They'll come by and do service for your table and your 9 guests. And you can feel like a real VIP at a Rodeo Vegas. And this is something they've never had as an option before. So that Vegas experience is something you definitely can get yourself at a Rodeo Vegas party this year in Zouk at the Resorts World.
Yeah, it's going to be, if you've got a booth, you've got it for the whole night. So definitely take advantage of that. And in the same vein, speaking of Rodeo Vegas and Pro Fantasy Rodeo, owned by the same people, we are partnering again with Pro Fantasy Rodeo this year. We are going to have a prize league. We are in the process of getting our prizes all put together for you guys. Jordan's going to put the link below to join our league. This is something that even if you're not going to be in Vegas for the NFR, you can do and feel like you are there and feel like you're a part of something. Last year was the first time that we did Pro Fantasy Rodeo, and I cannot tell you how much more it made me care about the rodeo.
It took over. And we've always heard everybody talk about their fantasy team. My boss does fantasy football. A lot of people do fantasy football, and this is a very same thing. You're going to get a salary, and you've got to pick people based on how much they cost, based on their ranking in the standings, 1 through 15. You buy it, you build your team, you pick one person from every event, and then that is your team for the 10 nights.
Yep.
The money that they win on the round wins, the money they win in the average, all counts toward your overall standings and your team. And you can win either Casey's own personal Cybertruck.
Insane.
You can win a brand new Ram 3500 with a brand new Elite 4-horse trailer.
So
this thing is sweet, guys.
So nice.
If I win it, I'll wave at all of you as I'm driving it down the road, but I'm definitely taking the truck. So Casey's probably going to be happy he gets to keep his Cybertruck.
Yeah.
But you're also probably safe because I'm not going to win. But either way, I'm going to play, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm very excited for it. We're working on getting our partnerships, like Rachel said, together, but we already have Lane Frost brand. Stetson is going to be putting in some prizes from Lane Frost. And if you follow anything they do, you know they've got some of the coolest gear out there. Equiderma has been an amazing partner of ours.
The best partner, seriously. We love them so much.
They have literally some of the best stuff. I'm not even like playing. This is an Equiderma hoof pick. This will be thrown in for you. So if you want one of these with this cute little horse, a brush, and a hoof pick, I've got it for you.
Yeah, but they're the good hoof picks. I mean, everything that Equiderma does is amazing. They're American made, American owned. A great small family in Florida that owns them. Amazing to work with. Incredible products, whether it's for horses, dogs, whatever you need, they've got you covered, even livestock now. So yeah, we're really excited to be partnering with them. We're gonna have more prizes. You will win a buckle if you win our league, so that's something else that even though you're not competing at the NFR, there are buckles to be won for the normal people. Okay,
and they're nice buckles, guys. They're
beautiful.
These aren't some cheap little store-bought things. These are good buckles that you will want to wear, I promise you. And this is just a fun thing. Like, prizes aside, if you're going to the NFR or if you don't get to go to the NFR, I couldn't recommend one thing to do more than go to profantasyrodeo.com, sign up for your own fantasy team, join our league. You can join multiple leagues. You don't have to only join our league. You can join the Rump Chat League. There are tons of leagues that all have their own sets of prizes. And every league you win, you get the buckle. You get whatever their prizes are. And then for the overall, if you place in the top 5 or maybe even 10,
you get prizes.
You will get prizes that make it absolutely worth your time and money to enter. I promise you, you won't regret it.
Well, not only that, but remember last year we had a whole list of things that we got just for signing up.
Oh, yeah.
Discounts, free things. I mean, it's well worth it, y'all. So definitely check out Pro Fantasy Rodeo. That is one of our biggest tips when it comes to NFR because it just put some skin in the game and makes you feel like you're part of it.
Yeah, and the NFR is all about fun, and there's no way to make sure that you have more fun than you would have anyway other than joining profantasyrodeo.com. Guys, I can't stress enough how fun it makes it. Every person that runs, you're invested, you're watching. It's just like going to a horse race and putting $2 on somebody to win.
Yes.
You're invested at that point, and you care, and it makes it that much more fun. But all that aside, our number one hottest tip for the NFR is to watch all of our videos in the Ultimate NFR Playbook. So if you're watching this video right now, you definitely will enjoy the other 3 episodes. And you can go to our YouTube, subscribe, watch those videos, comment what you like, what you don't like. If you don't like my hat or my face, I don't care. Put that in there.
Oh, my gosh.
It's all good stuff. But if you do have any questions for us, if we didn't cover something that you're interested in, you can message us at our Southeastern Cowboy Network Instagram. We respond to every message on there. Send us a message. Tell us what you want us to cover while we're in Vegas. If you have a question leading up to Vegas,
you can comment below.
Yes.
I mean, either way, we plan to vlog our entire time there. And now we won't cover everything because you simply can't. That is one thing that's tough about NFR is, even if you're there for the 10 days, you can't do everything. And one of the bigger things is if you are going, please don't overbook yourself. Please don't overplan. Leave some flexibility. Do the things that you want and prioritize those things. but you can't do it all. So the FOMO is real, but we will be covering our experience at NFR. So if that's something you want to see, stay tuned for that because we will be vlogging while we're out in Vegas.
Yep. And if you've enjoyed these videos, please let us know. Say something in the comments, send us a message on our Instagram. Doesn't matter. We'd love to hear from you. And we couldn't be more excited that we're this close to the NFR. And it's almost time.
It's like time that I don't even like think about anything else. It's bad.
Yes. Don't tell my boss, but pretty much all of my day is spent thinking about getting on that airplane to go to Las Vegas.
I cannot wait. It's going to be so fun. Anyway, we'll see you guys in the next one.
See ya.